Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to see if we can fix a cold misfire on my 6-liter Power Stroke Excursion with just an engine flush. My name is Jeremy, this is Region Automotive, and let's get to work. So, in case you didn't watch the last video on this excursion, or you may have forgot how rough the cold start is, I'm going to do a cold start here just to show you guys the before. I'm going to let the truck run for a few minutes because I don't like starting a vehicle and then shutting it off immediately after. But I'm going to do a cold start just to show you how bad it is, and then we'll talk about the additive I'm going to use. It's actually a pretty frosty morning here in Western Canada, so I suspect it's going to be pretty bad. You ready? As expected, she's pretty bad. Smoke, 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 smoke. Okay, like I said, I'm going to let it warm up for a few minutes and then we'll talk about the additive. Okay, so as you could have guessed, I probably got one of the big three diesel cleaner additives for the 6-liter Power Stroke engine. I chose to go with the Arch Oil. The reason why I went with Arch Oil is I just did a bunch of research, and guys have used this who've had the exact cold start issue, and they've had pretty good results with it. I read the reviews on Amazon. That was pretty good, and this was reasonably priced for this whole system. Actually, it was $136 Canadian shipped to my door for all three of these additives, so I figured that was a good start, just kind of clean everything up. Because like I said in the previous video, this truck has been sitting for quite a while, so I'm sure it needs a good fuel system and engine oil cleaning. So for today, I'm going to add the friction modifier to the engine oil. That's supposed to help with the injector stiction. And then I have two fuel, one's a cleaner and one's a treatment. For today, I think I'm going to add the treatment because I'm at about a quarter tank of diesel, so I'll just measure out how much I need. And the previous owner told me again that this truck has been sitting for so long that the diesel fuel is so old, so I figured that also might be part of the issue with the cold start. So this is supposed to boost the, I'm used to gas, octane, cetane. This is going to boost the cetane, so I think the truck will actually run better off that. And then next time I fill up, I'll do a full fresh tank of diesel, and then I'll add that whole bottle of fuel system cleaner. So let's get our fluids in, then we'll jump on the highway and go for a cruise and get it nice and warm and just let all this stuff work its way through the system. And then I'll show you guys, if you remember from my last video, I was complaining about the loose steering on the highway, so I'll show you the loose steering that I was complaining about. So if you saw my short this morning, you'll know that I picked up F350 seats for the front here. And the guy I actually picked them up from was a diesel mechanic, and he's quite knowledgeable. So I was telling him about the stiction issue I was having, and his suggestion was to add a quart or two of ATF to the diesel fluid, a quart in the underneath, or half a quart or whatever underneath the filter, so it goes right to the injectors, and then another quart in the engine crankcase. And then he told me to just drive the piss out of it like I freaking stole it, just to free up all that sludge and varnish and stuff. But at that point I already bought the Arch Oil stuff, so you know I can't follow his first recommendation, but you know, the doctor orders to drive the piss out of the truck, so the doctor gets what the doctor wants. Don't forget to subscribe, you guys, if you want to see more videos of me fixing this Excursion and then eventually building it into an Overlander. It actually doesn't pull too bad for an old girl. I expected, I don't know what I was thinking, like I expect to be pushing my back of my seat a little bit more with the big turbo diesel, but obviously this truck weighs like 7,000 or 8,000 pounds, but the needle moves quite quick and the transmission shifts smoothly and it's linear, so it seems to be running pretty healthy. So I'm just doing a quick walk around here after driving it pretty hard. They're getting everything nice and hot. And yeah, she's running pretty good. Like she's purring really well. So I can't remember if I mentioned earlier or not. I was kind of worried about that cold start misfire thing. because I don't have a lot of experience with diesels, especially the 6-liter. But yeah, after getting it nice and warm, like it's running perfect, and like there's literally no smoke coming out of the exhaust. Like it's clear all the way through. So yeah, so far that stuff is doing well. But like I said, the real test will be once we do our cold start tomorrow morning. So I'll show you my last complaint I had with the mechanics that I was talking about in my last video. The steering's quite loose, so if I'm driving straight, you know, I can wiggle it back and forth. Like it's kind of moving, but there's a lot of play in that wheel. That's pretty expected. I had the same issue with my Yukon. And yeah, I had to like redo pretty much every rubber joint in the front steering and then get it in alignment. So I have a feeling I'll have to do the same thing for this. The steering, like, it wouldn't bug me so much if it is loose, but like I said, I was on the highway too. I'm on a really bad road right now, so it's hard to gauge. But when I was driving it home on a smoother highway, like the truck was just all over the highway. It could barely stay straight because I'm guessing all the ball joints and tie rod ends are just worn in every which way, and we saw the wear on the tires there. So I'm definitely going to make a whole video on that, like redoing the whole front end on this thing. All right, you guys, are you ready? It is the next day. This is the moment of truth for me, because again, like that seemed like a pretty violent cold start last time. I put that arch oil stuff in it yesterday. I drove the truck around. I drove it, got it nice and hot, drove it really hard. As you saw, probably put, I don't know, 60, 80 kilometers if I were to guess. And this is a good test because it is 6 degrees Celsius this morning. So let's turn it on, get our glow plugs going. All right, moment of truth. Okay, a little rough still. A little clanky, a little noisy. Smoke is definitely much better. She's still shaking and misfiring a little bit. We'll wait a couple minutes for it to warm up here, see how long it takes to smooth out. But I would say that's overall better for sure. Maybe the sound's not the best, but again, it's cold diesel. And another commenter had a good suggestion too, which is to replace the glow plugs. Like maybe those are getting old. But there's definitely less smoke, so that's a big improvement. So after about 2 minutes of running, she jumped into high idle, and it's definitely much smoother. Like I'm calling that an improvement. Our smoke, we're still getting a little bit, but it is pretty frosty this morning. It is like normal. I can see my breath right now as I'm talking, so obviously it is normal for there to be a bit of smoke coming out of a tailpipe of a vehicle when it's cold. I'm calling that an improvement. I'm calling that a win. I will take that over the previous cold start, which I'll insert now. Just as I put away my microphone and camera gear, the truck like completely cleared up. Again, it sounds a little cold, but that's not bad at all for a diesel. And the smoke completely disappeared out of my exhaust, and it's only been running for like maybe 3-4 minutes. So that's substantially better than the previous cold start. I would say that's like a perfectly normal or acceptable cold start now for a diesel truck. All right, you guys, what's the verdict? What do you think about my engine flush there to fix the injectors? I'm calling it better. It's definitely not 100% fixed, but I think that's part of me getting used to like old diesels cold starting in the morning. I don't think it's ever going to be perfect, but it's definitely an improvement. Two things I noticed that I really liked just doing this flush is there's a little bit less noise, which is nice. It kind of misfires a little less. One big thing is it smokes a lot less. I've noticed when I've done a couple starts here, it smokes a lot less when it starts. And then within a couple minutes, the truck is drivable where it's like warmed up and igniting the fuel where it's hot enough. Versus before, I'd have to wait like 5 or 10 minutes for the truck to warm up. Otherwise, I just misfire when I try to drive. So like I said, it's better. It's definitely worth it. And it was an improvement. And I was going to joke around and say, Arch Oil, if you want to sponsor me, I will do an oil change video if you send me a kit, and I'll review and promote the kit every time I need to do an oil change on this thing. All right, you guys, that's my video fixing the stiction on my 6-liter Power Stroke Excursion. Don't forget to stick around because this is going to be my first part of a many-part series where I fix everything wrong with the truck, and then once we have it fixed and mechanically sorted, I'm going to do my Overland stuff. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.